Welcome back to another review. I've got a couple of lights sent in from Nitecore. These are the TIKI Keychain lights. I presume that's how it's pronounced. And there's a couple of differences between these two, which I'll go over in a second, apart from the colour that is. And that is the LEDs that they have. The main LED is the same. The LE version has a red and a blue auxiliary light, whereas the normal version has a high CRI and a UV LED. Sizes and weight are on the screen for you. Very compact, and we have a body material which is made out of polycarbonate. The bezel material on the normal TIKI is stainless steel, whereas the LE is an aluminium alloy. Both of these have the same main LED, and they also have that optical lens on the front, so we'll see how that performs a little bit later on. Body material on these are polycarbonate, and that's the same stuff that they use on some of those screen protectors on cameras and other devices, so it's quite a strong material. Micro USB charging, that's covered with a fairly thick rubber flap, but it goes quite deep in, so it does stay in place quite securely. And this is the clasp that you get to attach it to the keychain. Bit tricky to put this on. The reason for that is because it's so thick, so I found the best way to get this attached to the light is to just put a flat blade screwdriver and open it up a bit, and that will allow you to hook it through, make it a bit easier. They've probably gone a bit too thick with the material on that, so don't try and put a fingernail in there, you'll probably break it off. Once it is in place though, it's very strong, and the plastic material there is very thick, so I just can't see that breaking under normal circumstances. Onto the user interface, you do have direct access to high. You just hold it in for a second or so and it will give you a momentary high mode, the highest output. To get into the normal mode, just double press and that takes you to the ultra low. Single press will cycle through the power levels, and then you push and hold to turn off. You'll notice there are lines going down the screen on the 3 lower power levels. That's PWM, so that's a potential disadvantage. Onto the auxiliary lights, triple press when off, and a single press will cycle through the modes that you have available. LE version is fun, but if you're not into law enforcement, I'm not sure it's going to be a good idea to use that, particularly if you're driving along in a car, could get yourself into trouble. The other one, you have the UV, and then you have that high CRI side light, which I would probably find more useful myself. It really depends if you're going to need those side lights. I think they're an okay additional feature, wouldn't be a must-have for me on a keychain light. Couple of charge tests that I did. When it's charging up, you'll see it go blue, and then that will turn off when it's finished, and it took just over an hour to charge this. The capacity was pretty much on spec. If I compare the body size to the Olight i3e EOS, it is a little bbit shorter on the TIKI. I have used the Olight quite a bit. It's a nice little light, but it does just have that single power output. Nitecore are quoting IP66 rated, so that means higher pressure water jets. You need to go to the IP67 to get water submersion, but it would probably be fine in a shallow puddle. Starting off with the beam shots, it did okay even on the mid-level. The shed is about 90 feet away, and I've just about got some light on that. Up to the highest output, 300 lumens. A little bit more focused on this light than some of the other keychain lights that I've looked at, but we'll run through some more beam shots and I'll give you a few thoughts at the end of the video. few thoughts with the TIKI keychain lights. I think they're quite good. I would definitely prefer it if we didn't have that PWM, but maybe it's not going to be a problem for you. No shortage of choice in the keychain light sector, and it's also important to note that they do look quite similar to another manufacturer's lights. I don't know whether Nitecore have an arrangement with that manufacturer, perhaps they make the lights for them. Not sure how useful the side lights are going to be, but I did quite like the high CRI camping light. If you've got any thoughts on these lights, do leave a comment below, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video coming up very soon.